Let's bring in House Republican Conference Chair Elise Stefanik. I imagine, good to see you, Congresswoman, you were on the same page as Kevin McCarthy, the Speaker, with that move yesterday?
Yes, absolutely. I've been supportive of the impeachment inquiry going back to July, Brian, and it's important to look at where we are today and the facts we've already uncovered. Since the start of this year, House Republicans have uncovered over 20 LLCs used by the Biden family. We've also uncovered over $20 million while then Vice President Joe Biden, that $20 million from China, Russia, Ukraine, Romania, going into the Biden family. We also know that according to very reliable confidential human sources that has worked for decades with the FBI, that there was a bribery scheme when it came to Burisma and the Obama administration's policy for Ukraine. So this is what I believe will be the largest political corruption scandal in our lifetime and potentially in the history of the country. The American people deserve all the facts and transparency. That's why we're making sure that we're pursuing impeachment inquiry.
So Andy McCarthy writes today, without a vote, you're just renaming the Comer-Jordan investigations. Is that true?
Well, the impeachment inquiry is an important step in the sense that it ensures that Congress is at the apex of our power when it comes to deposition, subpoena. We know that the Biden administration and the Department of Justice are going to fight this tooth and nail because they don't want the truth and the facts to come out to the American people. But the impeachment inquiry gives us the most power constitutionally in court. And I think that's very important. And regardless if you're Republican, Democrat, or Independent, the transparency is key here. The American people deserve to know the bribery scheme and the illegal acts and the corruption at the highest level of our government.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see where this goes from here. Do you believe if it went to a vote, there were too many not on the same page, and with only 5 or 6 seats, you probably wouldn't pass this?
Well, Brian, every week the media underestimates us, and I think the more and more our members see the facts, that they see the information that has been gathered by the Oversight Committee under Chairman Jamie Comer's leadership, that they see the over 150 suspicious financial transactions as flagged by the Department of Treasury, I think every member, certainly in the Republican conference, is going to look at those facts in a very studious way and say that it's important to be transparent for the American people.
I know Donald Trump talks to Kevin McCarthy and leadership like yourself pretty frequently, and many people talked about the chemistry you two have and the respect you seem to have for each other. Would you expect Donald Trump to, at the very minimum, interview you, should he hold on to the lead he has and get the nomination as a possible running mate?
Well, that's really kind of you to ask, Brian. I'm focused on doing my job, serving the people of New York's 21st Congressional District. I'm going to work very hard to make sure that we save this country, and that means electing President Trump in 2024. I'd be honored to serve in a Trump administration, but we have so much work ahead of us in the next year and a half, and I will do everything and campaign with the president, and I think any Republican would be honored to serve with him in the next administration.
All right, that's a very interesting answer. Lastly, in New York, which is a national issue, the governor is looking to find a provision that allows our 65,000 minimum illegal immigrants living amongst us who really don't belong here a right to work. Would you be in support of that, or would that be an additional magnet for everybody to come to New York?
Well, I certainly oppose that and have been one of the leading voices speaking out against the amnesty policies, frankly, that have been perpetrated by Governor Hochul, Mayor Eric Adams of New York City, and most prominently President Joe Biden. And remember, these Democrat leaders in New York, they were the ones that initially said, we welcome illegals to New York State. Now it is an absolute crisis, whether it comes to we don't have the economic and budget and fiscal ability to care for these individuals, the over 19,000 illegals that are now in our school systems. That hurts hardworking New York families, New York students who already are facing significant challenges. And now to give them work permits in New York State, circumventing the state legislature, that's absolutely, I oppose it, and we need to secure the border. You have Eric Adams, Kathy Hochul begging Joe Biden for federal funds. What they really should be focused on is securing the border, because we know the policies that worked, and House Republicans passed the strongest border security package in the history of Congress.
They should be getting rid of the sanctuary city status, and they should be getting rid of the right to shelter status. And those two things have to go right away. And I'm wondering if we're getting close to that point, and Democrats will finally admit it. Elise Stefanik, Congresswoman, thanks so much.
Thanks, Brian.